we were just having a conversation in the kitchen, and these two ladies, both professionals in the personal development and therapeutic industry, helping people with their mind, with their mental health and emotional issues. Yeah, we're just having a chat in the kitchen as they come out, and just share with me what you were saying. Share with whoever watches this what you were just saying.
Oh, I can't thank Maz enough for starters. I mean, I have so much of a background in the health industry. I mentioned before that I own a health clinic, Allied Health Therapies. I run a team of psychologists, chiropractors, NLP practitioners, physios, Bowen therapists, osteo, clinical Pilates, naturopathy, kinesiology, massage therapists, Chinese medicine, acupuncture. I mean, you name it, I've tried it. I've had that wonderful opportunity. I have a husband who works in the industry and is magic. But today just blew my absolute mind. Pauline did Creatrix on me.
And how long ago did you learn this process?
Yesterday.
I worked out it's 28 hours ago.
Yes.
28 hours ago you even saw the actual scripting of it. Now you've had 7 issues released, but you just come out of a session and it's quite emotional, it's quite life-changing, isn't it? So that's what we're really talking about here. So share a bit more about what you just went through.
We worked on my fear of not being able to protect my children, which is pretty powerful for me because I'm an infertility patient. So despite the fact that I've got 3 children now, it took me 10 years, multiple miscarriages, 8,000 hours of labour.
That's crazy. Yeah. How does that happen?
That's so crazy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm an autoimmune patient because I don't know what to call it, but in one treatment with Creatrix I just feel so light, so relaxed. The relief is absolutely breathtakingly indescribable. I feel bliss. I don't think I've ever felt bliss in my life. The only other time I could describe it was when my 3 children were born. And even then, I was still dealing with pain with the bliss, and this was bliss and no pain. Yeah. Thank you, Maz.
I'm so happy for you. And so, how do you know this lasts? Like, what's the feeling different to, let's say, I mean, because you know we can feel pretty good from a massage. What's the difference? How do you know this is more lasting? Like, what's different?
I feel my body currently feels so light. I feel like I've taken a weight off me, like an entire human body weight off me. I feel so light. The release is just truly indescribable. The emotional release was breathtakingly powerful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be forever grateful, Ollie. And I know you have a background as a psychologist and a counsellor.
Yeah, I have 2 different graduate degrees, one in psychology and one in marriage and family therapy. And I've never witnessed anything like that in my life. And I was just crying for happiness for you. And it was extremely personal to me because my daughter-in-law suffers from that same fear of not being able to protect her precious daughter. And we've done everything that we can think of for her to help her. And she's been on drugs, antidepressants, anti-anxiety. We've done EMDR, we've done everything we could think of for her. And to watch what happened to you was just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
The power that ripped through me was amazing.
It's not the typical therapy feeling, is it?
No, not at all.
Because we're going in and we're playing at such a root level of our entire ancestral baggage. not just our lifetime of conditioning. And that's the release, isn't it? It feels that big too, doesn't it?
Oh my God, I feel like a human body has been removed from my human body. That's how big the weight is. I feel like I just feel so light. I just am, I can't even describe it. And there was no drugs involved.
It's 100% organic, isn't it? And
Completely natural. It was so gentle and yet so powerful.
And it's all done just in the mind. Who would think? I mean, we've always known the mind is powerful, but to totally unravel ourselves from our deepest, most unconscious cyclic programming that we've never even been able to find the root of before, but to actually get it.
And that's part of the magic, Maz, because I am all in my mind. I actually pride myself on being a thinker and being able to multitask mentally. I've done that for years as a teacher of 25 years. I've done it as a leader. I've done it as a manager. And yet this went well beyond that. It stepped around my being in my head.
Exactly. It bypasses the critical thinking, doesn't it?
And it just went to a place that I don't even know how to describe, my unconscious mind.
The thing that I would love to say too is that I've dealt with PTSD a lot with using EMDR, and with this modality that Maz has developed, even in EMDR, they have to re-experience their pain, and you never did.
No.
You didn't have to suffer at all.
I didn't have to revisit any of my real life events whatsoever. It was just such a gentle process and
That's what I love.
so
about
imaginative
it.
and
peaceful
creative.
And gentle and life affirming,
Yes.
and it like you start fresh
empowering
without having to go through the pain of it.
It's like a hardware reset.
Yeah.
It's like we're resetting our hardware.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you realise what's really happened though? We've installed resources. It's like wherever it began, the resources were lacking, and now they're not. It's like you've caught up with, how would you put it? You've raised your emotional intelligence. Your EQ is off the charts. And that's why it can't come back. It's like, can you unlearn how to tie shoelaces, and remember what it's like to have that frustration of not being able to form that knot and have it stay? Well, that's what's gone now. You don't have the frustration of what that's doing. And what you will notice is your head is going to go very silent, and there's going to be this space that,
that would be such a
people
gift.
like Deepak Chopra says, that is peace, having an empty head where you can put what you want in it instead of it running you. You can now. So under brain scans, if you look at Dr. Amen, he's done over 90,000 brain scans on emotional triggers, particularly in genders. And what it proves is when you're having a strong negative emotion, the amygdala and all of the energy that lights up on the actual brain scan is at the back of the brain, but at the frontal left cortex area is where you come up with good strategies and choices, etc. And that's where your critical brain is running from. But the lights go out at the front every time you have strong negative emotions. So it's like what happens now is the lights are back on full beam at the front of the brain, and with the very instinctual oldest brain has now learnt what it needs. So this is not like most therapies work at a second or third brain layer. Creatrix works at the oldest instinctual brain level. And that's what comes back now is instinct. And you recognize choice, and you realize that you don't have to trust the brain as much now. You'll just know. You'll be led. Your gut instinct will be back again, nice and fresh. So we've taken the rust off your intuitive antenna.
Oh my God, that would be
That's
awesome.
what's happened.
To just be able to listen to my intuitive self confidently and not second guess myself all the time.
Yes. Well, is it okay with you professional women who are in the industry if I interview you at interims in the future to see how you're travelling with that?
Yes, that would
So
be my pleasure.
it can be a proper case study.
Yeah, that That would be my pleasure.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Beautiful, because we really are in this, aren't we, to set women free above all else.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so thank you.
For anyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you, Maz.
sharing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're wonderful.